بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد النبي الأمي وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Dear brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome all of you back with your program Fatwa Live that comes to you live from Houston, Texas. The first question tonight about the minimum zakat al-mal in this year. Is it because of the high price of gold or silver? It keeps repeated, but the way that is because of the great value of the gold right now. Is the nisab on gold or silver? The answer is a matter of dispute between the scholars. The current scholars, they have a problem with the evaluate. Is it with silver or gold? The Islamic research in Azhar, they took the gold, but in the Islamic conference and the permanent fatwa in Saudi Arabia is to use it silver because of the poor and needy. And what is important, that the minimum of the at the time of the Prophet ﷺ, gold and silver, they have the same price. 1 dirham, 100 dirham equal 20 gold or silver. After years, they are not equal nowadays. As you see, the gold, the minimum of the is 85 grams of gold, and the silver is 95 grams. But the difference in the value is huge. So whoever looked at it and said that the cash is on the silver, he said, is agreed upon, and it is proved in the Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. That is authenticated, and to use it, it is more beneficial because the zakah will be bigger. So a lot of people who deserve the zakah will be able to have more income. And whomever see it that it's with the gold, because of the steady value of gold, who did not change different than silver, because the gold, the 20 dinars, used to buy with it at the time of the Prophet ﷺ 20 great lamps. In the silver, the same thing. Now, with this difference in the values of gold and silver, the silver is not even enough to buy one goat or lamb, where the minimum of the gold still can buy 20 lambs or goats. So that steady in the buying power of the gold, that's where you see that it is better to put it in the gold. Plus, originally, in all currencies, is based on gold, not silver. Like 5 of the camels, 40 of the lamb, or the gold. So the minimum of the gold should be enough for any of these categories. So, my dear brother, the answer, this is something that's disputed among scholars. And to use the silver, it is more guarding and more beneficial to the poor and needy. And whomever used the gold, you cannot blame him. Maybe it will be more steady and more stronger. A question: can using the shredder, if you are not using the mushaf, can we use the shredder to uh, to get rid of the pages that's damaged from the Quran? Then you don't see the words of Allah. Does that work or no? We say the shredder is enough as a way to get rid of the pages of the mushaf that you cannot use, but it has to be shredded small, so it does not show the ayat or the words. So if it's became small pieces, we don't see Allah's. This will give the what is very important, that the way that it is allowed to get off the damaged mushaf, they have different ways to bury in a place that's pure, or to burn like Uthman did all the other mushafs. Then bury the ashes or leave it in one place. The companions, they did that when they collected the Quran the time of Uthman. May Allah be pleased with him. So using the shredder as used, that will take the words. This is the small shredder. That's good. For the big amount, shredder is very nice idea. Then you could bury it, or put it with the other, the paper that's for recycling. Just making sure that the words are done. I mean, shredded. So the shredder will do the way to get rid of the problem. You don't require to burn, especially with big amounts. The following question about the pregnant one and the one who breastfeed. Do they have to do the fidya? In particular, with the compensation for that day. If she is afraid for the, not on herself, but the one who gets breastfed or the newborn. Again, it's called fidya because the kafara for whomever ruined his fasting by intercourse, and he have to pay to feed. You have to fast 60 days continuous. If not, then he have to feed 60 needy. But the fidya is for those who have legitimate excuses. And the scholars, they, what is the rule for the breastfed or the pregnant? If she broke her fast for fear for herself and the infant, is it to make the fidya with the money and to feed? The answer, if she had that fear on herself and the baby, then she can break her fast. And there is no kafara if she makes up for, she no fidya, as the scholar says. if it is to afraid of for the newborn only, that's a disputed item. The Maliki and Shafi'i and Hanabila, that she have to make the to compensate with feeding needed for every day, because it was not for it was for somebody else. There's another saying for the Hanafi and some of the Hanabila, and this is the choice of a lot of them. You only have to do compensate, no feeding. And what looks that you have to compensate without the feeding, because the one who breastfeed, they are like the sick that Allah said, whomever was sick or traveling, then let him get some other extra days to compensate some other days. So if you are afraid of yourself only and the soul and the newborn, then to compensate is easier. So the majority of the scholars, you just compensate for that day so that you break your fast. The final question: I work in the masjid in my house. If I stayed in my house, naturally I work from home. So if I made that calf in the masjid and I worked in the masjid, did I do something wrong with the i'tikaf? Well, the i'tikaf is to stay away from everything else in this life and to concentrate on Allah. But this is not a pure i'tikaf. Yes, that's not what the sunnah. But inshallah, at least you get there some reward for staying in the masjid, and there is obedience in it, because the masjid is the houses of Allah. Whoever beautified himself in his house and went to Allah's house, it is duty on Allah to honor this person coming to him. And the application depends on your ability. What about the following question about the translation of some foreign movies? So the translation of the movies, the translation is a neutral thing. If you did it for something that's beneficial, it is allowed. If you translated low class and very bad, who are against Islam and morals, then it is not allowed. If you did something that is mixed between good and bad, it has the rule of the work that is mixed. Because translation, it is an individual thing. It depends on the material you have to translate. So it translates something that is filthy, that's harmful. It will be held on the aggression, and you should not be into that field. And whomever leaves something for Allah Azza wa Jal will compensate him for something else. And the artificial intelligence making some visual of Jannah, this is something that depends on the best effort, because there's nothing in this life What's in Jannah is not in heaven except the names. There is difference between what Allah has installed Himself for the righteous among His creations, and He said about them, "I have prepared for my righteous people what eye did not see, nor the ear has heard, and never even imagined by any humans." So it could be said, as long as when it was something holy like the angels or the prophets or Allah, we're talking about something materialism and to help people in understanding. I think it is something permitted, and whoever looked at it as going to the unknown and the how, and originally we have to believe in the origins and leave the details to Allah, and the descriptions known and the how is only Allah knows it. So anyway, it is something that disputed and looked at by the scholars. And if you want to safeguard yourself, there are so many different ways to work. Allah's space is vast. I don't like you to go to that, nor to be in that kind of hardship. There are so many alternatives. Allah's land is very vast. After that, we take some of the questions. The brother is asking if the gold is 85, 84 and a half, and it was 21 carats. Do I do the zakah? And the minimum is not there because it's 85 grams of pure gold. So you take the eighth. The garment that is used, you don't have to pay the zakah as majority of the scholars say, and it is from the thing that you use, like the clothes that you use, or the car, or the camel you use, or the livestock you use, or the house that you live in, so on and so forth. To safeguard yourself is to say do what the Ahnaf did because it's easier. And the second question, the husband does not require to take the zakah on behalf of his wife. The wife is her own independent financial issues. She is the one responsible and given her zakah. which he has. But if her husband did that, so this is in the goodness between the husband and his wife. And to put calamity and the respect between the two husband and wife. A final question. Again, the 401k. Do you have to pay the zakat? I cannot take the money completely or use it. I could use half, and that's with penalty and taxes. So, my son, we have said it several times. First of all, you have to have the ownership of the money and to benefit from it. The money that you can control and benefit from, it is money that you have to pay zakat. The one. So, if you cannot get it controlled 100%, then you shouldn't. So, every account you have to look into what you can take and hold and control. This is the money you have to pay zakat. But there is a very important issue. We have indicated before that the stock market, the stocks, it has principles that's not zakah, for zakah. So anything that grows from the original price of the share, it's you pay the zakah, but the point, the price of the share, no. So not the value is all zakah, but what is equal to the growth money out of your share. And everyone, you have to go to the financial experts from the Muslims around you. They will help you in that. At the end, no money is decreased from charity. We come to the end. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت